I woke up at 2 a.m. again last night, not because of hot flashes this time, because I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror, that belly, that stubborn, impossible, where did this come from belly. I stood there in the dark, hands on my stomach, trying to remember when it happened. When I became this person I don't recognize. I've always been the fit one in my family, the one who exercised, the one who watched what she ate, the one everyone came to for health advice. And now I'm the one hiding behind towels at the pool, wearing loose tops to every family gathering, pretending I'm just comfortable when really I'm just hiding. The shame is the worst part, because I know better. I've done everything right, and still, this belly appeared like an uninvited guest who refuses to leave. My doctor said it was normal for my age. My trainer said I needed more cardio. My friend said I should try her juice cleanse. They were all wrong. What nobody told me was that belly fat during menopause isn't just regular fat. It's hormonally driven, it's stress connected, it's tied to sleep, cortisol, and insulin in ways that make traditional advice completely useless. I wasn't failing, I was fighting with outdated information. When I finally understood the 3 real reasons my belly had changed, not the myths, the actual science, I stopped feeling broken. You're about to learn what I wish someone had told me years ago. The truth about menopause belly that most experts still don't understand. Keep watching, your body will thank you.
3 belly fat myths are keeping you stuck. And as a former personal trainer, I spent 25 years teaching them. I built my entire career on fitness. I trained hundreds of women. I taught classes, created programs, preached the gospel of exercise and discipline. And when women couldn't lose weight, I secretly thought they weren't trying hard enough. Then I hit menopause, and everything I believed crumbled. At 53 years old, I was training 6 days a week. I was eating clean. I was doing everything I'd told women to do for a quarter century, and I was gaining weight. Not just any weight, belly fat that appeared seemingly overnight and refused to budge no matter what I did. Today, I'm exposing 3 belly fat myths that have kept millions of menopausal women trapped in frustration. These aren't minor misconceptions. They're foundational beliefs that shape how we approach our bodies during this transition. And they're wrong. I need to warn you first. Some of what I'm about to share might challenge everything you think you know about belly fat. It certainly challenged me. But once you understand the truth, you'll never look at your body the same way again. Let's start with what's actually happening. When you hit menopause, your body undergoes a profound hormonal shift. Estrogen, which has been helping regulate where you store fat your entire adult life, drops dramatically. And this changes everything. Before menopause, estrogen helped direct fat storage to your hips and thighs. After menopause, without that hormonal guidance, your body defaults to storing fat around your midsection. This isn't a choice, it's biology. But here's what nobody explains. This belly fat isn't the same as the fat you carried when you were younger. Visceral fat, the kind that accumulates around your organs during menopause, is metabolically active. It produces its own hormones and inflammatory compounds. It's not just sitting there. It's actively working against your efforts to lose it. This is why the strategies that worked before feel useless now. You're fighting a different enemy with outdated weapons. I remember the exact moment I realized everything I knew was wrong. I was standing in my gym, watching a client in her late 20s effortlessly shed pounds doing the exact program that was making me fatter. Same workouts, same diet principles, completely opposite results. That night I started researching. What I found shattered my professional identity but ultimately saved my health. I spent 3 months reading every study I could find about menopause and abdominal fat. I reached out to endocrinologists, hormone specialists, and researchers who were studying exactly this phenomenon. What I learned contradicted almost everything I'd taught for 25 years. The fitness industry had sold me a lie, and I had spent my career passing that lie on to other women. The guilt I felt was overwhelming. How many women had I failed by giving them advice that was destined to fail during this phase of their lives? But here's what most women don't know. Even with the right information, most women face an obstacle that makes it nearly impossible to break through on their own. After menopause, your body develops what researchers call thermogenic resistance. Your fat cells, especially the visceral fat around your belly, become less responsive to the normal signals that tell them to release stored fat. It's like they've put up a wall that exercise and diet alone can't penetrate. You can do everything right, train perfectly, eat impeccably, and still see minimal results because your body has changed the locks on those fat cells. That's exactly why many women in our community have started using a concentrated citrus compound that addresses this resistance directly. It contains Seville orange peel, which has unique properties that target abdominal fat specifically. Combined with ceremonial green tea and Himalayan ginger, it helps break through that metabolic wall. What makes it different from regular citrus fruits is the concentration. You'd need to eat impossible amounts of bitter oranges to get the same therapeutic effect. And because it contains no harsh synthetic stimulants, it's safe for women our age. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment if you want to learn more about how it works. But regardless of what you choose, let me expose the 3 myths that have been keeping you stuck. Myth number 1. Belly fat is just about calories. This is the foundational lie of the fitness industry. Eat less than you burn, and you'll lose weight. Create a bigger deficit, lose it faster. Simple math. Except it's not simple. And during menopause, it's completely wrong. Belly fat during menopause is hormonally driven. It's not primarily about how many calories you eat. It's about what your hormones are telling your body to do with those calories. When estrogen drops, insulin sensitivity decreases. This means your body becomes worse at processing carbohydrates and more likely to store them as fat. Cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to rise during menopause. And cortisol specifically promotes fat storage around the belly. You could eat the same number of calories you ate at 30 and still gain belly fat because your body is processing those calories completely differently. I spent 2 years in a caloric deficit that would have melted fat off a younger woman. I was hungry, exhausted, irritable, and gaining weight around my middle. The math didn't add up because calories aren't the whole equation. Studies from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology have shown that menopausal women who severely restrict calories often have higher levels of cortisol and more abdominal fat than women who eat moderately. The restriction itself triggers a stress response that promotes belly fat storage. What works instead? Focusing on hormone balance rather than just calorie counting. This means managing blood sugar, reducing cortisol, and supporting your body's natural hormone production. Certain compounds in citrus fruits, particularly the flavonoids in bitter oranges and grapefruit, have been shown to help with insulin sensitivity and fat cell regulation. Studies on naringenin, a compound found in grapefruit, show it can help regulate how fat cells respond to hormonal signals. I started incorporating more citrus into my diet, focusing on the bitter varieties my grandmother used to cook with. Within weeks, my belly started responding in ways that calorie restriction never achieved. It wasn't magic. It was giving my body what it needed to balance itself. My grandmother was Italian. She used bitter oranges in everything. Marmalade, sauces, even her famous chicken dish. I always thought it was just tradition. Now I understand she was onto something that science is only beginning to validate. Those bitter oranges contain compounds that your body recognizes. They communicate with your cells in ways that processed foods and even sweet fruits cannot. When I started honoring that ancestral wisdom, my body finally started cooperating. Myth number 2. You need to exercise more to lose belly fat. As a personal trainer, this one hurts to say. But the more I exercised during menopause, the worse my belly got. Here's the brutal truth. Intense exercise raises cortisol. Cortisol promotes belly fat storage. When you're already dealing with elevated cortisol from menopausal hormonal changes, adding more through intense exercise creates a perfect storm for abdominal weight gain. I was doing HIIT 5 days a week. Running, weight training, pushing harder and harder. and my waistline kept expanding. It made no sense until I understood the cortisol connection. A study in the Obesity Journal found that women over 50 who did more than 5 hours of cardio per week had higher levels of visceral fat than women who exercised moderately. The women working out less were actually leaner around the middle. For 25 years, I told women to exercise more. I was wrong. At least for menopausal women dealing with stubborn belly fat, more isn't better. Smarter is better. What works instead? Lower intensity movement that doesn't spike cortisol. Walking is phenomenal. 20 to 30 minutes of relaxed walking daily does more for belly fat than an hour of intense cardio. Strength training is important for maintaining muscle and metabolism, but 2 to 3 sessions per week is sufficient. More than that, and you're likely triggering the stress response that works against you. I had to completely rebuild my relationship with exercise. The woman who used to pride herself on how hard she could push now takes daily walks on the beach and lifts weights twice a week. And my belly finally started to flatten. It felt like failure at first, like giving up. But my body was telling me it needed something different, and I finally listened. My clients were confused at first. The woman who used to push them through brutal workouts was now recommending walks. The trainer who celebrated the burn was now talking about stress hormones. Some thought I'd lost my edge. A few even left. But the ones who stayed and tried my new approach, they started seeing results that had eluded them for years. Women who had been stuck despite following every program I gave them finally started losing their belly fat. That's when I knew I was onto something real. I also discovered that certain citrus compounds can actually enhance the fat-burning effects of moderate exercise. The P-synephrine in Seville orange, when combined with gentle movement, helps mobilize fat more effectively than intense exercise alone. Our ancestors knew something about these bitter fruits that modern fitness culture forgot. Myth number 3. Belly fat is permanent after menopause. This is the cruelest myth of all, because it makes women give up before they found what actually works. I've heard doctors say it. I've heard fitness professionals say it. I've even said it myself. Just accept it. This is how your body is now. Belly fat after menopause is just part of getting older. It's not true. Yes, your body has changed. Yes, the strategies that worked before don't work now. But that doesn't mean belly fat is permanent. It means you need a different approach. I've seen women in their 60s and 70s transform their midsections, not through extreme dieting or excessive exercise, through understanding their hormones and supporting their bodies properly. The key is addressing the underlying causes: insulin resistance, cortisol elevation, thermogenic resistance, and hormonal imbalance. When you address these root issues instead of just attacking calories or adding more cardio, the belly fat can finally release. I refuse to accept that my belly was permanent. At 59 years old, my waistline is smaller than it was at 53 when the menopause weight gain started. Not because I'm exercising more or eating less, but because I finally understood what my body actually needed. This transformation required me to let go of everything I thought I knew. The fitness professional in me had to die so the hormonally aware woman could emerge. It was humbling, but it was also liberating. I remember looking in the mirror 6 months after changing my approach. My belly was flatter than it had been in years. But more than that, I looked rested. I looked healthy. I wasn't constantly exhausted from overtraining. I wasn't constantly hungry from underfeeding. I had found a sustainable way to live in this new body with its new rules. If I can do this after 25 years of believing the wrong things, you can absolutely do this too. Your belly fat is not a life sentence. What works instead? A comprehensive approach that addresses hormones, not just behaviors. Prioritizing sleep, because poor sleep elevates cortisol and disrupts every metabolic process. Managing stress actively, not as an afterthought. Eating in a way that supports insulin sensitivity, not just calorie reduction. and for many women, supporting the body with targeted compounds that address thermogenic resistance directly. The citrus flavonoids I mentioned earlier can help the belly fat cells become responsive again to normal metabolic signals. Let me share what I've learned about women who successfully lose belly fat after menopause. They stop blaming themselves. The belly fat isn't a character flaw. It's a hormonal response. Once they understand this, they stop the shame spiral that makes everything worse. I can't overstate how important this mindset shift is. For years, I looked at my belly with disgust, with shame, with frustration. Those negative emotions elevated my cortisol and made the problem worse. When I finally made peace with my body and approached it with curiosity instead of hatred, everything shifted. Your belly fat didn't appear because you failed. It appeared because your hormones changed the rules without telling you. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's only something to understand and address. They prioritize sleep and stress management. These aren't luxuries. They're foundational. Without adequate sleep and managed cortisol, no diet or exercise program will work on belly fat. They eat to support hormones, not just to reduce calories. Anti-inflammatory foods, healthy fats, adequate protein. And they stop fearing food, which raises cortisol and promotes fat storage. They move gently and consistently, walking daily, strength training moderately. They stop punishing their bodies and start supporting them. They address the root cause, whether through dietary changes, lifestyle modifications, or targeted supplementation. They focus on hormonal balance rather than just calorie math. Many of them incorporate citrus compounds that specifically address belly fat. The bitter oranges, the grapefruit, the lemon. Not as a fad, but as a recognition that certain plant compounds can help regulate the processes that drive abdominal fat storage. And many of them support their bodies with concentrated formulas that provide these compounds in therapeutic doses. Now, I've shared a lot today. If you've been taking notes, you have a completely different understanding of belly fat than you did 20 minutes ago. But I want to be honest with you. Even with the right approaches, many women find that years of hormonal disruption and belly fat accumulation have created stubborn resistance. The thermogenic wall I mentioned earlier can be particularly difficult to break through, especially around the midsection. That's why I mentioned earlier that concentrated citrus compound with Seville orange peel. It's designed specifically to address that resistance and help belly fat cells become responsive again. Many women in our community use it alongside these strategies to accelerate their results. If you're curious, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment. It's not necessary for everyone, but for those whose belly fat has proven particularly stubborn, it's worth exploring. Let me summarize the truth that replaces these myths. Myth 1. Belly fat is just about calories. Truth is, menopausal belly fat is hormonally driven and responds to hormone balance more than calorie counting. Myth 2. You need to exercise more. Truth is, intense exercise can make belly fat worse by elevating cortisol. Moderate, consistent movement works better. Myth 3. Belly fat is permanent after menopause. Truth is, belly fat can absolutely be addressed when you use approaches designed for your hormonal reality. You've spent years, maybe decades, fighting your belly with the wrong weapons. You've blamed yourself for a biological reality you didn't create. You've pushed harder when you should have been pushing smarter. Today, that changes. I want you to know that I see you. I see the frustration. I see the confusion. I see the years of trying everything and watching nothing work. I was you. I am you. And I'm here to tell you that there is another way. The fitness industry isn't going to tell you this, because they make money selling you programs that don't work for your hormonal reality. The diet industry isn't going to tell you because they make money keeping you coming back for the next miracle solution. But I'm going to tell you because I wish someone had told me. Your belly fat isn't a failure. It's a signal that your body needs something different. Hormonal support, stress management, a new relationship with exercise, and perhaps some ancestral wisdom about bitter fruits that modern fitness forgot. I want you to take one thing from today and implement it this week. Maybe it's cutting back on intense exercise. Maybe it's adding a daily walk. Maybe it's finally letting go of the guilt you've been carrying about your midsection. Whatever resonates most, start there. And if this video shifted something in how you see your belly fat, leave a comment below. Tell me which myth had you stuck the longest. I read every single comment, and I love connecting with women on this journey. In my next video, I'll show you specifically how certain citrus compounds interact with belly fat cells. The science is fascinating, and it explains why our grandmother's bitter orange marmalade might have been doing more than just tasting good. Until then, remember, your belly isn't betraying you. It's asking for help in a language you didn't know how to hear. Now you do. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the woman I am today would tell the trainer I was 20 years ago to put down the stopwatch and pick up a research paper. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is admit we were wrong and start fresh. That's what I'm asking you to do today. Start fresh with me. See you soon.